We've allowed this system to take what God has given us, and that's our power and ability to think free-mindedly, to be able to ask questions, to try to figure out, is this really what it is? But as I kind of stood around this year and looked at the media and the world as is, and seeing the panic and the chaotic energy that was among us all due to the COVID, due to the famous deaths of many celebrities, which is very, very unfortunate. But at the same time, what about those deaths of the children that go missing each and every year, unheard, that no one wants to speak about? That nobody wants to speak about. And yet, a celebrity's death is much more important than what hits closer to home, which is the babies. The world as we live and as we are viewing it, we got things messed up. We gotta understand, we gotta get our priorities shifted. And the main way to be able to do that is understanding that the kids are the number one priority. And they are. Because when you kind of break it down a little bit, you begin to understand we was once those kids. Maybe not going through this horrific acts that are going on right now, and God's blessed us to not have to deal with that. But it does not mean we shouldn't speak for those who can't speak for themselves. So in doing so and knowing that, it is our obligation to be the righteous people God's intended us to be, however you want to view God. I'm not here to put anything on you. And that's what we must get to understanding as well. That love conquers all. And love has no division. It has no political party. It has no black versus white, Asian, yellow, whatever you want to call it. It has no division, has no name. It's what keeps us together as people, no matter what. And yet we lost sight of that. If you think back to when you were a child and you would be bold enough just to kind of go out to your neighbor and go and play, it's because you always had a love just to be able to express yourself freely without feeling judged, knowing that the other person may see differences in you, but that doesn't stop them, like how a child would. So we must get back to that. Yes, racism exists. I'll be the first to admit that, and we must, as a people, be able to admit that issue's there. But at the same time, we can't let that hinder us. Yes, racism exists, but humanity as a whole, we're one people. We all walk amongst each other. We work together. A lot of you know that there's good people amongst each other on multiple different races, different political backgrounds, different belief systems, different ways of growing up and living this world and seeing the world, but yet that's what we harp on instead of accepting the beauty in that, because that's what makes us unique as people. So I say all that to say that we must continue to fight this good fight for those who have no voice. And I make sure I emphasize the fact that they have no voice, because there's kids right now who may very well be tortured that has no one speaking up for them. The most heinous acts. I've seen multiple articles, and which many of you have also probably seen yourself. And if not, you can always go and do the information and look it up yourself. And that's very key, especially in times like this when the media is very biased and they don't want this truth out. Not everything's a conspiracy. I'm gonna say that now. Not everything's a conspiracy. So in knowing that, let's continue to uphold this truth. We gotta bring our people back. And the saddest part about it is a lot of those babies may never ever come back. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And that's gonna be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of the people who can't come together like us right now. And that's understood. Your job is important, yes. You taking care of this and this is important, yes. But at what point will the children be more important? It could be any of us. It could have been any of your children. And yet, we sit here and act like that's not a big issue because the media is not talking about it. But when the people talk about it, it's, they're crazy. But you forget, how was this country founded? On the people. So we must get back to that mindset of understanding that we have a voice that speaks volumes. We don't need the televisions, the tell-a-vision, if for those who don't get that, putting that in your mind, letting you believe that you think independently, meanwhile you're really believing in what they're telling you. This world isn't just gray, people. We gotta understand there's love at the end of the day. So we must get back to that. I'm not saying we go about it with violence. We don't. We show love. But at the same time, we understand where the lines are drawn. We will protect ours. Because any of that nonsense and any of those bills that they allow to pass for the pedophiles, we won't allow here. We will not allow here. Anytime we're a country that says that they stand upon the truths of the people, allow laws to uphold those who are holding children hostage and committing heinous acts, that makes you question what kind of country this really is. Just because we have leaders on both sides who have not given any of us, as far as I'm aware of my 21 years of living, anything that we all truly wanted. And yet, we still give them our power and our ability to think that they can do any and everything to us, like we're slaves. Still, and mentally, a lot of us have been mentally prisoned as slaves, and you gotta understand that. Yes, slavery might not be within bondage, but if you can't have the ability to think free with your free mind, you might as well have free bondage on your hands and be shackled. Because you're no good to yourself and you're not no good to the people around you. So look at your neighbor beside you and say, I'm a revolutionary. Right now, everybody, if you want 1, 2, 3, I'm a revolutionary.
I'm a revolutionary.
For those who heard of Fred Hampton, he's one of my biggest role models. I enjoy the way he was able to bring different cultures together with the Black Panthers in the 60s, one of the Chicago main leaders. He had a vision that even to this very day still stands within us. And young people, you must understand, we all have a gift. How we view that gift and how we use it is up to us. Not even just the young people, all people. But I know it's gonna take us young people to help get this pushing. No age is too young to make a change in this world. But it's up to you to make that change. Because if you don't, who will? So again I ask, will you rise? Because times is testing and it's really gonna show at the end of the day what we're capable of doing. So we must do that. We must do that. So in conclusion, I just want to state that we the people will get this done. Because I believe it, I know you believe it, and we're going to see this through. Because if we got to meet out here every week to get this message out because the media won't do it, that's okay with me. Save the children, save our children. So again, I appreciate the opportunity to be out here to be able to speak to you wonderful people, like-minded individuals, understanding that personal beliefs gotta be put behind. That can't be what you use to be divisive during this time. Love conquers all. If you think with love, you'll begin to understand that you're able and capable of doing all things. And yes, fear, we all get it. I get it. Before coming up here, I was a little bit fearful, if I must admit. But it takes the effort to try to make that change that's gonna show amongst the people, which is that love, which is that God, which is the truth that we need back
Wonderful turnout.
to lead this nation in the way we needed to be led. So again, we are revolutionaries. And for those who are willing to work and have any questions out after this, I am willing to speak with you. I'm willing to go to battle with you, because this is a battle. Regardless of how you like it, this is a battle. Good versus evil. And good will prevail. And we must understand that. We must understand that. Good will prevail. Do not let this evil world tell you otherwise, because it's purposely meant that way. So stand strong, keep fighting, understand that the children are the future, you are the future. They've killed many people for speaking this truth. And if death comes with speaking this truth, give me liberty then, or give me death. And we must get back to that mindset. So, again, let's prevail as people. Let's unite. Let's put our personal beliefs to the side. And let's change this world for the better, because I know that we can and we will. Power to the people.
Woo! He is an awesome speaker.
We'd like to thank Quaylen Calvin for speaking today. That is awesome. We appreciate it very much. And hand the mic back over to Jay. All right. Thank you.
Tons of people, great turnout. I'm so proud of you, Kokomo.
Just remind everybody that all t-shirt sales are 10% goes to purchase.org.
My name is Jerry McClurkin, and I'm standing up here with my granddaughter. She's missing for 40 years, and we need help in finding her. We need the FBI to come in, so if you could just pick up the phone and call them, ask them why they haven't come in on the case. She's been missing for 4 years come October with no leads and no help from Kokomo Police Department. Kokomo Police Department says it's not deemed necessary for them to come in. 4 years is too long, and she needs to be found.
Yes.
That's all I ask is pick up the phone and call the mayor and ask him to get the FBI in here. I took over 1,800 signatures in, and he said he would see what he could do. So if you could think about it, you got a spare minute, just pick up the phone and call the mayor and ask him to get the FBI in here for her, please.
Come on, Tyler, you can help us find her.
a merchant ship. Many times they took us to the bottomless pit. My hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We've poured in this generation. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? Don't lie there. Our redemption songs. You need to pick yourself from the slavery. Nothing but yourself to free your own mind. I know you live the top of the country. None of them can stop the time. How long shall we kill our prophets while we stand beside and look? They say it's just a fighter. We got to fulfill the book.
Come out and join us, folks. Need a sign? We got some extra signs. We're definitely speaking out. The turnout here is beautiful. Hope you'll join us.